Hello, welcome to News Flash on PTV2, the home of breaking news. We're coming to you live on Topsa Channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. Now let's take a look at stories making headlines. A 68-year-old woman of Makululu Township in KAFUE district of Central Province has died after she was allegedly struck by lightning. A family in CHALALA Township of KAFUE district has narrowly escaped death after a sinkhole suddenly developed and caused part of their house to collapse. Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. SITUMBEKO MUSOKOTWANE, says the government plans to invest in the railway line to support the 3 million ton copper target. Now with the news in detail, my name is Wando Billy Chalaka. A 68-year-old woman of Makululu Township in KAFUE district of Central Province has died after she was allegedly struck by lightning. The deceased, identified as Christina Soko, was reportedly found lying dead along a road on 9th February 2026 while returning from her crop field. The incident has since been reported to the police and the body has been deposited at KAFUE Central Hospital mortuary as investigations continue. Joseph Siambihi has more.
Her journey from the crop field in Makupu to Makululu in Zambezi, her home, was cut short. This was after she was found dead on the road after a heavy downpour experienced in KAFUE on the 9th of February 2026. This is a 68-year-old woman who relatives have identified as Christina Soko.
Tinacherera kuseni kuenda mmaminda mweneti chako tuma last kusakulira ndipo enda mujata chako manje tafika nthawi yakuti tipumule kuma lunch hour kunaoneka mikumbi kumwamba ndiye mvula yamba kulokwa. Mvula ije ili kulokwa mwasoka nikumvera kaleza kalira tankhala ndithu kuyembekeza mpaka mvula ija yasira. Pamene yasira napokelera ripoti kukhala ngati headman wa muzi. Kuli muzimayi winangu wamene alimina kuno kumakupu anali kuyenda ku town kumakululu. Sono afa panjira. So ndiye kuchoka paja na tamanga ine kuyenda kuja kufika kukura around 15 hours. Kuona zona kupeza muntu afa. Manje anali rapta anali na ka plastic ka blue kumutu. Kupeza sapato yagwa kunkhwango yamena nali nayo yagwa. Ndiye kuyangana kuonesesa tamba kutuma mafoni manje kutumira ku polisi. Nthawe mphamvu ya Mulungu taita identify basi kupeza kuti ni vachibululu ni wa sister vanga wa Christina Soko wamene makhala pakamuza Mzambezi mumumbwa. Tufanira kuti khale ndithu wochenjera ngati mvula iloka tenti pezeko somewhere tachitako pezako shelter.
The incident has been reported to Kasanda police station and the body of the deceased deposited into KAFUE Central Hospital mortuary. Joseph Siambihi reporting, Prime TV News in KAFUE.
A family in CHALALA Township of KAFUE district has narrowly escaped death after a sinkhole suddenly developed and caused part of their house to sink during the night. The sinkhole swallowed a section of the house, spurring the area where the family was seated at the time of the incident. KAFUE Town Council Chairperson Wumba Malambo says although no lives were lost, the affected family has been left homeless. Ms. Malambo says she has since engaged the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, the Department of Geology, the Infrastructure Development and the Zambia National Service, ZNAs, to provide immediate assistance. She has since further urged residents of CHALALA Township to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious ground movements or signs of sinkholes, noting that such incidents are increasingly being recorded in the area. Let's take a look.
Hey, this is scary. This is scary.
Some parents in CHIKANKATA constituency have expressed happiness with the developmental projects being implemented in the area through the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). The parents who spoke to PTV2 News after the area Member of Parliament, Jacqueline Sabao, commissioned 5 development projects valued at over 2.9 million kwacha, said they had never witnessed such levels of development in the constituency. Some of them said the projects have strengthened their confidence in the current government and indicated that they would support President Hakainde Hichilema and the United Party for National Development (UPND) in this year's general elections. Speaking during the handover ceremony, Ms. Sabao says the commissioned projects are clear evidence of the government's commitment to improving the welfare of citizens and promoting inclusive development.
The people of Nanzele in CHIKANKATA district braved the night, determined to be part of a moment they say will change their lives. The commissioning of a water scheme valued at over 300,000 kwacha constructed under the Constituency Development Fund. From the joy written on their faces, it was clear this was more than a project, it was hope delivered. On Monday, 9th February 2026, CHIKANKATA Member of Parliament Jacqueline Sabao commissioned 5 developmental projects worth over 2.9 million kwacha, all funded through Constituency Development Fund.
I'm proud of our government's efforts to empower communities and drive economic growth. As your Member of Parliament, I remain dedicated to ensuring that no corner of our constituency is left behind.
For parents whose children previously walked long distances to access education, the new classroom blocks are a welcome relief, and they did not hide their happiness as they shared their appreciation.
takuniyagali wabana bali kwenda munsi nzomullahu usiya ugaunga unga kuti popali kwinda abridge yali chintu chiyoya maningi kapatya unga tolo mwana onka uchiworo toli bantu bayowa maniki kuti mana ndika kupe munene nayira kukoya kuha ka kuha yalo kaizumana ya unga tolo kuhota ino ndiyali kuti ayi onse minu yangu eri kuhota ni wana tiposa ika kuhota ili onse minu
ananga kwa kulipali kunkapya kusabula bana abono basinkira bali kuchikolo ino kwenda bya kuyabwenda bamahali kuyabuti bana batyani basabulu
CHIKANKATA Council Chairperson Conrad Ngoma, Council Secretary Christopher Siasinyanga, and District Commissioner Timothy Chipolyonga say the Constituency Development Fund remains a powerful tool for transformation, bringing hope and sustainable development at the grassroots.
And I want to say that the Council wants to implement all these developments as early as possible, as soon as decisions are made by the CDFC.
Like we have always said, that our task is to implement guest of honor and also to assure you that we always follow the standards as guided all the time.
Depends the party. Depends it the party, then to apelesha mara ya CDF.
The Member of Parliament also took advantage of the event to fulfill a pledge, donating 5,000 kwacha towards a local tournament she had earlier promised to support. Favorite Chisi, Prime TV News, in CHIKANKATA district, Southern Province.
Now moving on to news, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. SITUMBEKO MUSOKOTWANE says the government is preparing to invest in the railway line as part of efforts to support Zambia's ambitious target of producing 3 million tons of copper by 2031. Dr. MUSOKOTWANE says the initiative is aimed at positioning Zambia as a central hub and leading producer of copper in the Southern African region, while also strengthening connectivity with neighboring countries. Meanwhile, Zambia Railways Limited Managing Director Cuthbert Malindi has welcomed the move, citing the high cost of repairing.
It's a key initiative to boost the mining industry and reduce the local roads.
Firstly, because given the expected increase in mining, both in Zambia and the DRC, we need railways to be able to evacuate these minerals, and of course, whatever comes in the country from outside. Short of that, we'll be repairing roads every 2 years, which becomes very expensive. So the contribution is in terms of more efficient and cost-effective transportation. Secondly, I want to say that just as we are thinking of converting or using the Lobito corridor into an economic corridor, we are doing the same for Tazara.
He credited the recent increase in investors in Zambia's mining sector to the good governance policies created by President Hakainde Hichilema.
When the policy environment is not good, you can quickly conclude that the minerals are exhausted. But when the policy environment changes to being attractive, what was considered to be a space with no minerals, suddenly no minerals are discovered. So this is precisely what's happening, and we want to encourage more and more of this, because the job situation, as you know, here in Africa, too many youths without jobs.
Zambia Railways Managing Director Cuthbert Malindi, who is also in South Africa for the mining Indaba, expressed support for the government's efforts, noting the railway line project will help reduce road maintenance costs.
The target for the country, as everybody knows, is 3 million metric tons per annum. And I'm told that's the minimum ambition. You can't move that level of mineral from the Copperbelt province, which is our mainstay of mining. You can't move that to the sea without involving rail. So it's important for us that such conferences, we are present as rail operators, and obviously specifically Zambia Railways, because it's at such conferences that we then get to talk to the mining houses to understand what their needs are and how then Zambia Railways comes in. The development that's going on, you can't move those goods on roads. We've seen the damage that roads have really suffered.
The 2026 mining Indaba has brought Zambia into the spotlight, with numerous investors showing interest in doing business in the country. For Prime TV News in Cape Town, South Africa, Marcus Bransakwita reporting.
The Business Regulatory Review Agency, BRRA, has announced that compliance with regulatory impact assessment RIAs by regulatory agencies in public bodies has increased to 82.2% in 2026, up from 56% in 2024. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka, BRRA Board Chairperson Dominic Kapalu attributed the improvement to sustained stakeholder engagements and targeted training programs conducted by the agency. Joan Savila has more.
The year 2025 saw many businesses emerge from the doldrums of low production and high cost of production as the economy began to show signs of recovery. This improvement was largely attributed to microeconomic stability and stabilization of power supply across the country, which had previously posed a significant challenge to business operations. With more reliable electricity, businesses were able to increase production levels, reduce operational downtime, and minimize reliance on costly alternative power sources. Additionally, the improved power situation enabled many small and medium enterprises, SMEs, to maintain steady operations, enhance productivity, and remain competitive in the market. Their improved performance contributed positively to overall economic activity as SMEs play a critical role in driving innovation, supporting local supply chains and creating employment. Sustained energy stability is expected to enhance investor confidence, support business expansion, and attract new enterprises into the market. BRRA remains optimistic that continued power stabilization, among other factors, will further strengthen the business environment in the country. 1. Licensing reforms. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, licensing reforms are a catalyst for conducive business regulatory frameworks in which businesses operate.
That item ends the news flash on PTV2. Let's take a recap of stories that made headlines. A 68-year-old woman of Makululu Township in KAFUE district of Central Province has died after she was allegedly struck by lightning. A family in CHALALA Township of KAFUE district has narrowly escaped death after a sinkhole suddenly developed and caused part of their house to collapse. Minister of Finance and National Planning Dr. SITUMBEKO MUSOKOTWANE says the government plans to invest in the railway line to support a 3 million ton copper target. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Rwando Billy Cheleka. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.